Hello, welcome to Stiff Right Hand. I am the Dominator, Stu Allen. I'm here with my wife, Tanya Allen, and we're going to be talking about things and stuff.
He once punched his mother in her mammary glands. It's Angry Stu Allen of Stiff Right Hand.
Hello, this is Stiff Right Hand with me, your host Stu Allen. Enough of that bollocks. I love the Wombles. Whatever happened to the Wombles, Tarn? I don't know, Stu. Well, I'll tell you. There they were, underground, overground, a wombling free. Then, no more, they were, type stuff. A bit like FWA, Stu. Yes, that's right. Now go and do the dishes. Angry, tattoos, beards, Brian Blessed, over and out.
Oh no, no, that really wasn't me at all. That was Chris Mann. It's very good, Chris. Yeah, it's a nice podcast for you, and all you do is cunt me off. You absolute fucking prick. I hate you, and I hate you. You kayfabed my wedding. That's all you do is kayfabe weddings. You fucking... Yes, coming to a cinema near you next summer. The Wedding Kayfaber. Book it, and he won't come. Yes, that's enough of you, Chris Manns, you naughty, naughty boy. Fuck off. Anyway, enough of that bollocks.
Oh. Was that stupid English voice supposed to be?
Oh no,
me?
trying to... Yeah, hello, Stu.
Hello, Stu. As if I do the fucking dishes.
Yeah, I know, right? I know, fucking some stupid fantasy land he thinks we live in.
I know.
That don't happen.
Yeah, well, joke's on him.
Joke's on... Yeah, it is on him. Fucking cheek of it. So, what a day today's been.
It's been eventful, hasn't it?
Bloody awful. We've just got back home. We've been... well, we've had our day at the academy today, Extreme Academy. One of our one of our students collapsed and unfortunately, unbeknown to us, got into an altercation the night before and had a head trauma from headbutting a patron at the club he works at, and collapsed and has gone to the hospital with a potential brain bleed. It was pretty frightening. We had our ambulance come in. I have to say,
they were amazing. They were
unbelievably impressed with them. I mean, we got the ambulance in because the lad was in a lot of trouble. He was struggling. He was basically young, totally unconscious. He wasn't awake. He'd been sick and passed out, so we had to react pretty quickly. But the ambulance were there quickly. But then the air ambulance were there so fucking fast, and it wasn't an easy place for them to land. It was fucking awesome. So hats off to you guys.
Yeah, they deserve much better funding, I think. What an amazing service, those guys. And also, can we just have a moment in discussing the very pretty paramedic that came in that turned all the boys' heads, and who did she fancy?
Yeah, I think
me. It was me.
Yes. No, it didn't bother me.
I liked it. She was pretty.
She could have come back.
Not my type, but
she could have come back for one of our sexy parties.
Oh, the legendary sexy parties.
Yeah, she could have come home and I didn't fancy her much in them Doc Martens. They could fuck off, but she could have left them on, I suppose, and got down to some business.
I think you're being sexist. It's alright if I say it, because she's...
No, it's alright if I say it as well, because I'm going to shoot my muck up all over the living room about it later on. But anyway, so there you go. That was this afternoon.
Honestly, Bundy, I hope you get better soon, you plum. But next time, boo-boo, fucking tell us before training.
Yeah, it was frightening. I mean, it was really horrible. There was a point where he was in the toilet throwing up, and the throw up had reached the brim of the toilet, and then I just heard him go, ugh, and he was actually
wedged in between.
No. His face was in his sick. He was like, blah, blah, blah. His face was in the toilet, which was full of sick. And then I was sick on the back of his head a bit.
Oh no!
It was like the Family Guy, endless sick scenario. And I thought, this is just fucking awful. So come on, let's get this shit out of him.
In his delirium, he kept telling me he wanted to pee and kept trying to whip his knob out to have a pee. I was like, Bondy, don't do that, mate.
He was fucked, the poor lad. But we're still waiting. In fact, we shouldn't really be laughing like this because we're still waiting to hear on him. He's awake now and he's awaiting a CT scan, so...
just get better soon, you plum,
I've
from all of us.
just received a video from Lee Murphy, so I'm assuming that'll be...
well, I hope he's not dead, because...
Well, he won't have sent a video of that, will he?
Well, you don't know that.
But no, so there you go. Want to talk about lots of things, really. I was supposed to I've had Billy Wood on here this week, but he didn't reply to my offer of coming in and answering all the questions I've got to throw at him.
Oh, should we just tell a story about Billy instead? Let's tell the Raven story.
No, I'm going to wait and do that, and I'm going to wait till I've got him here face to face to do to do all the stuff we want to do with.
Fine, but you guys got to know that there's a really fucking good anecdote.
Oh, don't worry, I'm going to make him relive all of that. But the main talking points everyone has been asking me about this week is. Oh, but I also want to say quickly before anything else. Our episode last week, it was our longest ever episode last week, nearly 2.5 hours. Had some fantastic feedback from mainly all from Danielle. From it was the first time.
For Danielle, not from her.
For Danielle for the wonderful conversation we had last week on mental health, and it's just proved to me that all my listeners are mental. And no, but it's proved to me that there are lots of people out there who don't talk about it, that need to talk about it, and more than anything need to, it's done them good hearing about it and hearing about how ways to combat it and overcome things. So I've got some lovely feedback from all sorts of different walks of, from not just wrestlers, from fans, some personal friends, and some from people I don't know who've said well done for doing that. Thank you to Danielle for that, and it was incredibly brave and also incredibly helpful, the things that she said. And so that was exactly what I hope to get from it. So thank you, Danielle, and thank you for those of you guys who've reached out to get in touch, and we will do some more stuff because it's really close to my heart and it's very important.
In the meantime, if you do want to talk to somebody about mental health,
don't talk to me because I've got my own fucking life to live.
That's what I'm proposing. But just pop the Stiff Right Hand page a shout, and we can send you some links to some places that will really help, including the mind thing that Danielle was talking about that helped her over Facebook. So we do have access to all these links and bits and pieces, so if you believe it's going to help you out or you want to find out more, just interact with us on the page and we'll send you to the right place.
And she's also discussing with me about whether to come on the show as an agony aunt, which I thought,
I think that's a wonderful idea.
I think that's a fucking marvellous idea.
Because who else is going to, not me, I'd be the worst agony aunt ever.
Well, we'd both be pretty shit at that.
Right.
But Danielle would be great at it. And I dread to think some of the fucking things that we get sent. So, but anyway,
they're all going to be from you, aren't they? About your grandma.
They're all going to be from me. A friend of mine says,
I'm asking for a friend, but
how many wanks are you? No, I can't say that. I was going to talk about me
7.
wanking in random hotel kettles, but I don't do that.
No, not anymore.
Bit.
No. So I've got surveillance drones now.
Oh, damn. Oh yeah, we watched the new Spider-Man film last night, and Tarn got really fucking overexcited because
I was fucking well
the reconnaissance surveillance bug drones, and
yeah.
her little face lit up like, oh, look at those.
Right, I'm getting a fucking army of those. I'm gonna get ones that go on the floor. I'm gonna get ones that fly around.
Oh, great!
And I'm just gonna absolutely follow you around and call you out on
happens anyway.
On your bollocks. Well, no, because sometimes you come in the kitchen and have snacks that are none of your business.
Why can't you let me live?
I can't be asked to get up and walk all the way into the fucking kitchen and tell you to leave my fucking Jaffa cakes alone. But if I have a drone,
all that fucking the fabled period chocolate.
Yeah, don't touch my period chocolate. Yeah, not
that country song.
Yeah, it was. It's Willie Nelson.
You are.
Fuck off. Yeah, so I'm just gonna have an army of tiny insect drones following you around.
Nah, bollocks.
We
used to have a fucking rabbit that she used to send in to have a shit.
I had a little trained interrogation rabbit.
All of a sudden the door would creak open, and have his silly little face looking up at me.
It's called Bollo.
Bollo.
He'd look at you and judge you.
The fuck was that?
And that was Siri. Shut the fuck up, Siri.
Yeah, yeah. What?
Oh, it's my Siri.
I'll tell it to go fuck itself.
It says, maybe you said, how do? Interesting question, Tanya.
Maybe you said, how do?
Maybe
There's a good chance you did say that.
How do? How do, Siri?
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, fucking hell.
So, anyway.
Trying to put itself over in the podcast.
Enough about talking about me being watched doing poos or secret wanks.
Yeah, but everyone wants to know. Everyone wants that footage. Everyone wants the footage of what you get up to when you think I'm in bed.
I don't know anything interesting. I've got my health problems. I walk around in circles. I touch things. I write things on walls. I scribble things on glass. I then
But are you refuting?
I mutter to myself, do my chanting, and go back to bed.
No, are you refuting that you come in here and you take my snacks?
No.
Because...
That's the least of my fucking worries.
Because I'm saying that you do.
Well, I know I do, but... Oh, foiled again. Damn. Your incredibly clever line of questioning threw me.
I am the world's greatest detective.
Shut up.
Lemon entry. Solved another one, innit?
Listen, people were asking questions about this and saying, what do you think about Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega? I don't give a fuck about it, if I'm honest. We've briefly touched upon it last week. A few people said, let people enjoy stuff. Who am I? I'm not the fucking...
You're not the fun police.
I'm not the fun police.
Stop enjoying yourself.
You can carry on, but by the same token, don't tell me what I can't hate. And I hate it.
The hate police.
Because it's shit. I'm sorry, it's everyone laughs and says, if Ricky Steamboat and Randy Savage had done that match in the WrestleMania 3, if they'd have done that in the Tokyo Dome, it would have got 2 million stars. And the same thing with Chris Jericho.
They didn't fucking have to.
Yeah, but I'm just not fucking listening to what I'm saying. That's not the point. The point is that Chris Jericho hasn't done a good match in nearly 20 years, and he hasn't. I don't care what anyone says. He hasn't done a good match in that time. So all of a sudden, is he going to do a great match with Kenny Omega? Kenny Omega's just going to be out there putting himself over, doing his ludicrous fucking act that he does, and it's very clever. It ain't wrestling, it's stunt work, and it's very clever. But if you think he's going to be doing a hell of a match with Chris Jericho, it'll be fine, I'm sure. And the promos building up to it will be great, and it'll all be exciting. But I don't get it. I really don't. And I'm not saying you don't enjoy it. I'll watch it. I ain't going to buy it, but I'll watch it. And crack on. Anything you want to add? Oh, you don't really even know Kenny Omega is, do you?
Yeah, he's the one that wrestled the little girl and the blow-up doll, yeah?
Yeah. He wrestled a little girl and the blow-up doll, and for that reason deserves absolutely no credit for shit.
Yeah, but the little girl was very fucking good.
It doesn't matter. He's put over a little girl, a little schoolgirl. It's not on. You've exposed the business massively.
Yeah, he's one of the
and
guys
you've exposed
that
the business. But not only that, he did a kid's birthday party and wrestled in someone's in a kid's backyard, and not even that long ago either.
Yeah.
He's exposed the business. He's wrestled a blow-up doll. If you do that sort of shit, it might fly in Japan. But boy, if that had been the day of Mad Dog Vachon would have hooked one of his eyeballs out. I'm sure. But everyone says, back in the day, well. That's why people give a fuck. Well, that's why people don't anymore. Don't give the general public more of an excuse to take the piss out of what we do. But hey ho. The other thing is WWE coming over here, and Mark Dallas and everyone else losing their shit that Triple H had his picture taken with them. And I said, well, I'm sorry, that just is back to the 1980s again. They're going round. They're taking the talent. They're going to cherry pick the top talent. They'll take the top 2 or 3 wrestlers from each promotion and then start moving in to territories, and they're going to do it from north to south. They'll do it for the top in Scotland, and they'll work all the way down. They'll end up down here at the Brighton Centre. They'll do the NEC in Birmingham. They'll fucking be all over the place. It'll be British NXT, where we will all suffer as a consequence because you're all rolling over and letting them tickle your tummy and fucking rub your belly and it's the Triple H. He's not doing anything he's never in his life done anything other than to further himself. So why would he change now?
Well, also you need to think that our scene doesn't actually need any further fucking eyes on it. Like, we don't need any extra prestige. We've got the best scene in the fucking world. Mm-hmm. So Triple H breezing over here and getting involved and inserting himself just does nothing other than make it impeccably fucking clear what their next intention is. And for them to have a monopoly on the wrestling business, they need to fucking put some roots down over here. And because we are getting good houses and they are not getting good houses, because the American industry is fucking terrible.
It's awful. It's on its arse. And you look at the shows like SmackDown, they're sometimes a quarter full, but if they're lucky, half full. So of course they're going to come over here, and of course everyone's going to go and lose their shit, and we'll probably buy it. But who's going to suffer? We are. So let's stand firm, guys. A message from one of our main, he's our fucking one of our commentators, Jake Pugh, and he just said, I just thought I'd send you my thoughts on the WWE UK thing before you speak about it. Too late, Jake. I'm more against it than for it, to be honest. I'm for it because I think it gives guys and girls They want to get that level worldwide exposure in every possible way, the money, the arenas, national television, branding, etc. But I'm against it mainly because if WWE decide to build a full-time UK promotion in this country, then I feel that's a bad sign for those who have spent years building their companies from scratch, like Brian Dixon and even yourself. Rather than WWE taking an ITV deal, I'd rather we got World of Sport back. Yes, there were some flaws with it, but easily could be improved upon, and had no input from anybody WWE associated. Yes, agree with some of that. They've already tried with World of Sport and fucked it hugely. And although there's people saying, "Oh, well, you can't take it away from us, we did it." Yeah, you did it, and you fucked it.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It was fucking awful. You got people like fucking Play-Doh on there waving his dick around, and oh, fantastic. Well, there you go. That's what people immediately. The first image of British wrestling is that prick. So fantastic. Turn off. So there you go. Straight away. So I don't think it's good. I think it's something we all really need to watch out for, and I'm not worried about it because we don't do as many shows as everyone else. But I think the amount of fans that have blindly jumped on it and been like, "Oh, it's so exciting! It's so exciting!" I think she made a massive error, and I think you need to wake up and smell the beans. So there you go. You got some questions for me, haven't you, from Chris O'Regan?
Alright, shall I hit with some questions?
Yeah.
Okay, so Chris has got 4 questions. Let's start with this one. He says EWW's been through 4 eras. There's no possessive apostrophe in eras, by the way. The original 3 years with Jamie Club, then the Whitney years, the touring years, and then the current era, the one which we are living in. What was your favourite Dominator match /feud from each era? Good question.
Can't remember most of them. Fighting Spirit, Lee Edwards in the cage, definitely the first one, because he was one of Jason Cross's students. He hit hard, he was awesome. I'd say anything between me and Frankie at the Palace nightclub, probably Phil Powers, or getting to go on with Raven in the touring years. And my favourite match recently, my most favourite match recently is my cage match with Phil Bedwell.
Yeah, that was a great one.
So those are my favourites.
Okay, right, so next up, what are your top 3 WrestleMania dream matches that never happened and most likely never will? Well, he says next will, so I'm going to assume he means...
They're all going to be old stuff, so... Oh, shit, man. I'd love to have seen Ricky Steamboat, Ric Flair. I'd love to have seen... The one I'd love to have seen, and I can't believe they never ever did, was Demolition and the Legion of Doom. Just as a kid, you know, you had those 2 guys and they spunked it so quickly. Rather than build that match up, they put them all together in a programme immediately, but never had them on a pay-per-view. And the other one would have been Road Warriors against the Samoan SWAT team in a cage, because I remember seeing them when I was a kid do a show on the Power Hour or something, and everyone bled in it. It was fucking brutal, so hard hitting. I wish to fuck they'd have done that on a top card like that. But you know, obviously I never got at them. So yeah, it's all old school, all boring for you guys, no doubt. You probably wanted me to say Johnny Kickpads versus Al Schmoitenboysen.
Al McFlippyface.
I don't know anyone else anymore. I don't care. I don't like them. I'd like to see fucking Johnny Saint versus Stevie Gray at WrestleMania, but there you go. Ain't never gonna happen either.
Well, not with that attitude, just not.
And I'll tell you what, if they did, it'd still be it'd still be fucking better than anything else on there by a fucking mile. Let's have that right.
If you and Tarn were to have kids, would you want them to follow you into the wrestling business?
Well, we were discussing having kids the other night and decided the thing is, Tarn wants us to have a fat Jap.
Don't tell it.
What?
I was just racist.
That's what you said.
I didn't say
you
fat
want
Jap.
us to adopt a fat Jap and call it Tub Tub.
I did say that.
So, I don't think we get the choice. Oh, no. So
Chinese
is there a shop for these? Yeah, we want a baby. No, we want a fat Jap and call it Tub Tub. Right, sorry, you guys are totally unsuitable. So, yes, probably. My dad secretly wanted me to follow in. I've come from a line of wonderful golfers in my family. Some who've played in the Ryder Cup, some have been teaching pros, some have been touring pros, and of course I fucked their line up entirely, because all I was good at was throwing golf clubs into hedges and things. So I fucked that up, but I think deep down my dad would have loved me to have followed his footsteps and been a PGA pro like he was. So yeah, probably I wouldn't want them to, but would probably secretly like it if they did.
Oh, that's quite nice.
Yeah.
I don't mind. It depends if we have a boy or a girl, really.
Wouldn't matter to me, but for obvious reasons.
Well, no, just because I'd be more insistent that if we had a girl that she did follow my footsteps,
yeah, I'd agree
and I'd
with
be
that.
Harder on her for that
Yeah.
reason. But also, in saying that, like,
Yeah, I
I wouldn't
understand
want
that.
to hand our children EWW.
No.
Like, you're not getting, like, work for what you want to work for in your life, and I'm not just going to give you a free ride because this is what I built up.
If it was a girl, definitely I'd be more inclined to teach her like the way I taught you, and I think, like I've said before, I think women's wrestling's on the up. I think women are going to have much bigger opportunities than guys in the future, and women's wrestling, hopefully in 5 to 10 years' time, is going to be so fucking good.
There's more room for growth.
Yeah, there's more room for growth. So yeah, I agree with you on that one. Next.
Okay, final question. Let's say the Dominator were in WWE. Like, can I just say, Chris, can you just like freaking just like read your messages through before you send them, because they're baffling. I'm having to scan read this because it doesn't make any sense. Let's say the Dominator were in WWE, not now, but when it was last good, say 15 or so years ago, shady bitch. How would you want the biggest high profile feud to go? Who would it be with, and how would it be booked?
Well, when I did, I went and did the first ever Tough Enough, and it was thoroughly fucking miserable and shitty. And I kind of lost my temper with Taz, and it was horrendous. So at that time, when in 2001, I think it was, I would have liked to have done something with that little punk and fucking smashed him out, because he was a right little fucking bell end, and I don't think I'd have had too many problems at all with him, but I digress. Before that, probably, if I was ever to do anything in WWE, it would have been WWF days. I'd love to have done something with Randy Savage. Yeah. Just because he's one of my, well, certainly one.
He's a fucking man.
He's one of my heroes. My coach Adrian Street always spoke about him and said, you know, it would have been easier to have taken him out back and fought him in a car park than actually have a wrestling match with him, because you just had to, you know, if you didn't take it, he'd give it just constantly. And Adrian and him had some fucking awesome matches, and just knowing that alone, I'd love to have gone on with Randy Savage, and just loved just watching him, man. Everything he does, even when he's not tying up with you, the things he was doing, or just you know, off the camera to the crowd, his mannerisms, his little twitches, the funny little things he used to do to pull the people in. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, it would be him. That's that then. Neil Cunningham also asked who your toughest opponent is, or has been.
That's really hard for me to answer, because people are tough in different ways, and for me, like, my
yes,
well, just like my
tough to wrestle with because they're shit.
Yeah, because they're shit, right? It's just my career.
There's been loads of them.
Mate, I couldn't even pick. But my career's been in such varied stages, so what was difficult for me 2 years ago isn't difficult for me now. It was very difficult for me to stand across the other side of the ring against you, because you're my trainer, and
I was in a bad mood.
And you were in a foul fucking mood.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's unusual.
Yeah, I know. But I would say that occasion gets me rather than specific opponents. So I was nervous with like wrestling Doug, but Doug looked after me quite well, and also like Doug taught me a lot. So I think it's just about perspective, I guess. But
so Mercedes Martin is it?
So Mercedes is going to be my answer. You knew that was coming, didn't you?
Yeah, I already knew the answer to that, just because it was such an awesome occasion. They were doing a huge build-up for it. It was a very big grandstand match for you.
Yeah, freaking Shimmer champion versus the Bellatrix champion.
It was done in an awesome setting in that incredible environment, Epic Studios, which you know is just it's phenomenal. And I knew that was your answer. So there you go. Was he the state attorney of Texas? Just did a fantastic statement earlier on in the week after the Texas shooting. The Texas shooting was so bad the facts and figures were that 8 members of one family were killed.
Fuck.
3 generations in where a place you'd say was safe, the church. There were so many people killed, there was 15% of a single town were killed in that one shooting. And the Texas attorney has said that there should be more guns in churches.
What?
That was his response. Now, the thing I don't understand, and I've had this conversation with, in fact, a friend of mine today who is a police officer in America, and I said, if you look at it this way, right, every single Muslim and any Muslim or immigrant is going to have a camera up their arse 24/7 if they go to America. So there's been 160 jihadi deaths this year in comparison to 36 mass killings, having done my homework, which I believe that to have been well over 1,000 deaths of US citizens by their own people. So therefore, why wouldn't anyone? I mean, who needs more than one fucking gun? So anyone who owns more than one firearm should have that same treatment, right? Mm-hmm. They should have camera up their arse 24/7.
Yeah, why do you need more than one?
Because the guy who pulled the trigger and killed all those people in Texas, he'd passed all of the fucking. He'd passed all of the procedures, you know. They checked everything out. They checked him out.
Well, there's not a procedure for intention, is there?
No. And if you turn around and say, "Well, it's my hobby," get a new fucking hobby.
Yeah, one that's not killing people.
Get a hobby. Get a fucking paintball gun. Do you know what I mean? If you want to be down on the range shooting. And the other thing my friend Andy said, well, it's good because, you know, I think more people should have guns because it gives them the opportunity to... When has anyone ever... They said, oh, well, someone could be here to stop it. When has anyone ever done that?
No.
When has anyone ever had that hero moment?
Because you're hauling ass so you don't get fucking shot.
When have you ever heard of anyone having that hero moment where... And there's a mass shooting, oh, but Kevin from down the street shot the guy dead. That never has happened because all the mass shootings, the guy's gone off and killed himself. That's never happened. So America's got this thing of, because they love the Rocky movies, there's always got to be that hero. Someone's going to have that hero moment. When's that ever happened? It never has.
When a few more thousand people are dead,
it's fucking outrageous, man. I cannot get my fucking head around it.
It just smacks to me like kids that like you shouldn't. You can have a sweet, but you can't have all the sweets because actually what it's doing is it's killing all the teeth in your fucking head. No, I want to have the sweets. She's got 10 sweets. I want to have 11 sweets.
Who needs more than unless you own a museum or anything like that, or are a police officer yourself? You don't need to own more than one gun. You don't. You don't need to own all these fucking guns, guys. It's never going to end. I don't see it ever ending. I don't see any president ever being able to do anything about it, or that they'll ever change that constitution. I don't see that it's ever going to stop. And these shootings are going to get worse every year. Boy.
Yeah, America aren't going to sort out anything. America can't even work out that what a woman does with her own body is her own fucking business. They're not going to sort out this gun control problem.
Yeah, it's fucking mad. But I don't understand. That Texas shooting. How could anyone possibly say that? No, they don't need more Bibles in the church. They need more guns.
Well, what we need guns, guns strapped to the pews, guns in each page of the Bible, just in case you flick to Psalm 79.
So the two safest places you'd say in the world are schools and guns. There should be more guns there.
Church.
Wow. Well done, America. Fucking awesome.
Yeah, just get the kids. The kids can have guns and all.
Yeah, I want them all with guns. I want the priest with guns.
Semi-automatic. I
want everyone with fucking guns.
Yeah. In the font, guns.
The fonts?
The font.
Oh.
You know, like when they go and do your baptism or whatever.
Oh,
there's no water in there now. Yeah, there's no water in there now. It's just guns. Just dip a baby in.
You're talking about babies with guns. Let's go over to little man Dan with the wrestle wrap-up.
Oh no, he's here, is he?
Yeah, little man Dan with his guns and his flapping gums.
Guns in your pocket?
Guns in his pocket and gums in a rocket. It's wrestle up, little man Dan.
This side Polly Pocket.
Giving you your weekly dose of a kick in the nuts. This is Stiff Right Hand.
It's that time once again. It's time for the Wrestle Wrap Up here on the Stiff Right Hand podcast. If you want to check out more Wrestle Wrap-Ups, go to youtube.com/Wrestle Wrap-Up. Now on with some of the highlights from this week in wrestling, kicking off with James Ellsworth. Recently he's been on the live event scene and he's been getting his butt absolutely whooped by the SmackDown Live women's division. Now, it was only a matter of time, let's be real, until he was gone from the WWE, and as of Wednesday, WWE has released him from his contract. Now, I'm sure he'll be fine on the independent scenes, but he's not the only one that's been kicked out. We saw Jason Jordan being kicked out of Team Raw as Triple H announced himself as Jason Jordan's replacement for the traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match after WWE did an angle with Jason Jordan. Well, apparently, Jason Jordan only found out that he was being replaced the night before. WWE apparently didn't want to tell him, but there are rumours that we actually could be seeing Jason Jordan turn heel at Survivor Series. There's been reports from Wrestling Observer Radio that Jason Jordan will be turning heel, speculating that he could cost Team Raw the match at Survivor Series, which could eventually lead to him taking on Triple H or even Jason Jordan versus his kayfabe father Kurt Angle. There's just a bit of the news, but if you want to know more, go to youtube.com/Wrestle Wrap-Up, because that's a wrap.
Read all about it. Doug Williams smashed in Scarlett's Minky.
Right, we're back on Stiff Right Hand. Thank you, Dan, for your wrestling wrap-up. So you're here with your towel around your head?
Yeah, I am here. And I do have a towel around my head.
You look like Jafar.
Thanks,
Be impressed with my Disney knowledge?
Yeah, a little bit, actually. Jafar's pretty... I don't know, he's like...
Is he mainstream, is he?
Yeah, he's your quintessential turbaned bad guy. So,
you are?
Yeah.
So I just heard about a rich piano. He was a good friend of his... his mum's mum was known as Gran, wasn't she?
I've gone off you a little bit.
Oh, hush. No, you haven't. Rude. No, it's sad. I was reading about him and finally the toxicology reports come back and the post-mortem, which has taken forever. I was like, imagine something for a man of that stature would take a long fucking time. You'd need an entire pharmacist to look at that, I think. But it's come back, we had a enlarged liver and heart, which was twice the size of a normal human being, which is pretty sad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but he
was a good guy.
Well, no, he made no bones about what his lifestyle was about.
No, he's very honest.
And he always wore his choices absolutely on his fucking sleeve, so...
Yeah, he was...
So more power to him, that's how he wanted to live his life.
Well, I liked him, he was a cool guy, and he was, he would be missed. So sad as people forget when you take steroids to enlarge your muscle, your heart is obviously a muscle as well, so that's one of the things that gets enlarged as well, so it's a bit like what happened to Davey Boy Smith, so that's sad. What about we were talking about the shooting on the earlier recording, and now we've just found out that there's been another shooting at junior school in obviously in America, isn't it? So, what are your thoughts on that?
I was actually disgusted that it wasn't even on the top 5 reported news stories.
It makes you wonder if even if it made the news at all in America in that case.
Yeah, like what was their coverage of it? I just like... It was kids, man. Somebody went into a school and shot at kids.
And not only that, he went home after he came home early and shot his wife dead in cold blood, and then went off to do that.
It's just just fucking bullshit. How many more times, how many more lives are gonna have to be just absolutely? Oh, sorry, am I boring you?
No, I'm just
on Facebook there.
No, just been sent a question for tonight's podcast, for tonight's recording.
Oh, you want to do that?
No, I'll do that when we're finished. Carry on.
Well, I can't remember.
I thought this podcast was in safe hands, but no, obviously I can't leave you to do anything without you checking on what I'm fucking doing.
Well, firstly, let's remember.
No. I want to go back to the point.
This is your podcast.
Talked about what you were talking about the guns.
Well, I just say. I don't know. I mean, it's just like the American government's a bit like, how many more people need to be fucking killed? Like in church, in schools,
There's
at
nowhere
a fucking
else.
gig. It's bullshit.
It will never change.
It's
It will never change.
fucking bullshit.
It will never change. There's
How can you
nothing-
say it's the land of the free and the home of the brave when you're fucking?
There's
clearly
nothing. There's no.
neither?
If you're not safe in a church, you're not safe in a primary school. What's next? There'll be a mass shooting in a fucking library or a carpet shop. I don't know.
Probably has been.
But no, they will never end. It will never end. And yeah, we've covered it. But yeah, since we've started recording, there has been another. So it's not a mass shooting on that level, is it? It's small potatoes, really, 4 people in a
Probably
day.
by the end of the time we finish recording this, there'll be another one.
Yeah,
It's
probably.
like even more of an atrocity. Come on, America, sort this
Yes.
shit out.
Yes.
I'm starting to get jolly well cross with you.
But all day you had a stupid day, didn't you? You had a stupid fucking woman in your let's have tales from the well, look, we've got a toss-up actually this week, haven't we?
What?
Okay, well, I was going to go for the WWF Slam of the Week. We were going to go for the Cunt of the Week.
Wow.
He's not a nice person, not mild and meek. It's Big Stu Allen's Cunt of the Week!
Yeah, well, do you know what? The woman that pissed me off today is just pales in comparison to who should be the cunt of the week.
Yeah, well, let's go on to that then, because obviously we had our training session. We're not going to go into too many details, etc., but we had a guy who was already concussed who'd come to our school and having done a warm-up.
Well, he was a very naughty boy and didn't tell us.
Yeah, he didn't tell us about
he'd
his...
had 2 fucking severe head injuries 2 days like before training. You silly sod.
But anyway, he's come along to training and he hasn't made it through the warm-up and collapsed, and yeah, we had to get the flying ambulance in, who were awesome. We've spoke about that before, and they got him away. It turns out he's got 6mm bleed on the brain and was 5 minutes away from dying, they reckon. So we saved his life there potentially. Well, we did.
Well, yeah, we did.
And then the Hastings Observer, who only seems to like printing stuff when it's
sensationalist fabrication.
well, whenever it's anything negative about the fucking town, they don't like posting anything or writing anything positive about it. They only like it to slag the place off. So of course they got on it because they the tracking information from the police from the paramedics helicopters. It's open, it's open plan. You can see that online. The general public can look at the flight plan.
Well, that's so they don't take the helicopter to McDonald's, or shit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not me flying it. but they what is that fucking helicopter gone to TGI Fridays again?
Again!
Yeah,
it's the 4th time in
another
2
guy's
days.
choked on a fucking name your own burger. What a coincidence. Still,
Remember that time that we went in there for cocktails and you said, order me something not gay, and you did something that was annoying to me about 5 minutes beforehand.
Breathed?
So, yeah, you breathed.
You
And
fucking shit out.
so I ordered you that bubblegum daiquiri that came in the fucking penis looking glass. The gayest thing there. All
Yeah,
glitter
thanks for that.
sparklers.
Yeah, great.
That was anyway, back on to the
That my glass the barman.
No,
No,
we got loads of free cake because we lied and told him it was our anniversary.
no, yeah. Well, I knew it was one of those two.
Other chain restaurants that we've swindled are available.
You think that's your catchphrase now? It's rubbish, let me tell you. I'm the catchphrase king
No,
round
my
there.
catchphrase is, I know I'm here.
Look, listen. So anyway, going back to the helicopter. So you can track that. You can track the flight of the ambulance, and that's exactly what they've done. But rather than just saying, "Oh, someone's got injured somewhere," they've gone and said, "Oh, someone had a head trauma at Fighting Tigers gym." Which then given the gym, which I rent off a good friend of mine, Andy Chambers, giving them the unnecessary publicity they didn't want. So Tarn got straight on it, didn't you, and wrote a fucking superb stinking letter to them, an email to them, which they responded immediately, apologising and removing said article. So that was good, but
It's just fucking bullshit.
it was unnecessary, wasn't it?
Because that's
it was added
somebody's
insult
business.
to fucking injury.
It's somebody's business at the end of the day. It's Andy's business, so how fucking dare they without checking it? And also think how fucking stressful that would have been to our lad and his family.
Yeah.
Like, whilst he's fucking fighting for his life, And what the story should have said, you utter cunts, was Fighting Tigers trainers, Extreme Academy of Wrestling training staff saved a man's fucking life.
Yeah, and that's
you pricks. That's your fucking story.
Yeah, and that's not even a fucking over-exaggeration. No. I won't go into the details of it, but it was fucking scary.
I will. We're on the toilet floor.
No, don't want to go on about it. It's private. It's a private matter what went on in there. It was between us and the guys that were in there.
Yeah, fucking
It was frightening though, and the guy did nearly die, and don't want to say any more than that, other than the fact that Hastings Observer, you are the cunts of the week.
Probably the fucking month.
In all fairness, that person is the absolute cunt of the week.
So there you go. But other than that, you had that woman in there today, didn't you? We probably shouldn't slag off your customers.
No, we shouldn't. Let's just graze over this. But some fucking stupid Costa customer fucking came in and asked me if I was fucking stupid because she ordered an extra hot skinny latte.
No way to order your lunch, really, is it? Are you fucking stupid? Well, excuse me, I'll go and wipe my ass on your baguette.
Oh, are you stupid? I'm starting to think that you are, love, so why don't you go sit yourself down outside?
I love all the wonderful things you get. You get people asking you for a cup of chino.
A cup of chino.
Yeah, that's one of my favourite ones.
All day breakfast. That's one.
It's not advertised anywhere.
Oh, fucking all day breakfast. I was just like, why do people
I want the all day Brexit.
Anyone that has to work in customer service, like, you are the real fucking hero.
That's why I work with dead people. They never ever upset me. So anyway, on Twitter, I got a tweet tonight from a fella called Ian Stewart. Hello, mate. He just said, have you recorded the new podcast yet? Is it too answer your question in? No, too far away. Want to know your experience with Wrestlexpress and the fallout from that. You were one of the first names linked with it and were plastered all over the early press releases. Good question. Long fucking answer. This is long, by the way, so...
I want to make a cup of tea.
Yeah, crack on. There was basically what happened. It was at the height of, just after the FWA era, when we were starting to do a lot of business, sort of late 90s, early 2000, and this chap called Ryan Aaron Hewson got in touch with me and explained what he was going to be doing. He's got Jimmy Hart on board, Sonny Ono on board, even Hulk Hogan on board, and of course, to me, this sounded like, oh, fuck you, buddy, pie in the sky, I'm a wrestler, I've heard all this shit before. So anyway, he sent me a load of press releases and blah, 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 and sure enough, looked like the real deal, so I thought, who am I to fucking... I was in the middle of running EWW, we'd done some big stuff with, brought the ECW guys over from the States, and things were looking really good. We were drawing some big houses. And but I thought, okay, I could do this as a one-off Renegade show. It might be massive, it might be shit, but there was some big UK names on it. There was Jody on it, Johnny Storm, Doug Williams, the standout FWA guys, myself and Stevie Knight as well. So there was some guys on there I knew, and so I thought it'd be fun. So was invited along to I think it was the Thistle Hotel on Tower Bridge in London. To record some promo stuff for them, and it was greeted by this guy Ryan Aaron Hewson, who fucking hell, I don't know how to describe him really. He was a bit like the geezer. He was the lead singer of that band. What was that? Tarn, what's the name of that fucking band? I believe anything called love. The Darkness. Justin fucking Shiny. Thanks for your help there. So him. He looked like him, and but he was there with this guy, and we couldn't figure out whether it was his limo driver, his business partner, his dad, or his gay lover. There was a guy there with him who was like a briefcase handcuffed to himself, and we were inside at this point. This guy still had shades on, and it was all very weird and covert and strange. And then Johnny turned up, and Doug, and we were all sort of sitting around. I don't even know if Doug was there. I don't think Doug was there that day. It was Johnny and Jody definitely were, me and Flatliner and a few others. So yeah, we were sitting around, and he was running through his ideas, what we were going to be doing. We were going to be doing shit all over the fucking place. We had to go upstairs to Sonny Onu's fucking private room and listen to this god awful CD that he did. He said, I'm not going to do an impression because I'm going to get called fucking racist again. But Oh, you know, I've got a CD here of my daughters. They're launching a pop career, and you guys got to listen to it. Of course, Sonny Only's a big fucking star, right? So we're all sitting there all politely listening to, oh yeah, you know, all right. So puts this.
Do you not think that might have been a rib? Because
It wasn't a rib.
Project, so I would have made you do that as well.
No, it wasn't a rib. He was genuinely fucking excited, and so we had to say it was awkward because he was scrabbling around and the CD wasn't working properly at first, and then all of a sudden it kicked into life, and you know, these little Japanese girls going, really high pitched, and it was fucking shit. And we were saying, oh yes, good son, yeah, and he's gone, oh, they're going to make it big. Do you want to hear the next one? Oh yeah, all right, go on then. Oh yeah, clap, yeah, very good. Oh no, let me play one more. Oh, for fuck's sake, turn it in, you fucking cunt, you know what I mean? But no, so yeah, we went to listen to that shit, and then Jimmy Hart was sitting down, and he was talking to some really cool stories, to be fair. We filmed a bunch of stuff. We filmed some promos out on Tower Bridge. We filmed some stuff chasing Sonny and Jimmy down the fucking corridor. It was all nonsense, and the coolest thing about it was that Jimmy Hart had gone and got his band Death with this metal band in Florida. He'd actually made me my own personal ring music. He'd seen pictures of me and wanted to do me some music, and I've still got it to this day because I fucking half-inched it from the hotel. But it was a CD that he'd had made of this band who made me my theme tune. So yeah, Jimmy Hart did my theme tune. Just a CD. So yeah, there was that, and I can't remember then what happened, but I know the show never happened. FWA ended up taking that over, and Rhino in Houston is now in jail, I believe, because he a load of the money that he was given and donated by sponsors, etc., all got fucking.
What happened?
You don't know what happened.
Well,
you weren't even born, probably.
You all gave him all this false hope about his daughter's pop career. So
no, that was Sonny Only.
He invested the money in that instead.
Oh, thanks for your input, love. We'll go back to brushing your fucking hair, Pocahontas. So yeah, no, that was Sonny Only, but the other geezer, who was the promoter, he ended up doing time for embezzling money, and so Wrestlexpress never happened in its original guise. It then went on under some awful watered down version that the FWA did with, I think the only major star on the show was Earthquake, and it didn't really do good business because the show was going to be drawing originally about 12,000 people. Oh, and I remember we all had to go up to Jimmy Hart's suite as well and sing Happy Birthday to Hulk Hogan over the phone, which was kind of surreal as well because we were all pissed. But so there you go, Wrestlexpress. That's the end of that, really. Don't really know how to elaborate on it because it was too fucking weird. I remember me and Stevie Knight just sitting across the room looking at each other and shaking hands like, what the fuck is going on here? It was all very weird. The wrestling business was in its sort of first sort of modern golden age, really, so we were all really chuffed that something big was going to happen, but we were still very suspicious that we in the back of our minds we also knew that, come on, this is British wrestling, something's going to go tits up, and of course it did hugely. So there you go, good question, Ian. I hope I've answered it sufficiently, but that's to my best knowledge. Over to you.
Well, I haven't got anything to say about it. I wasn't even born.
No, you weren't. You probably weren't even born. How old were you even in 2000? 2.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Let me work it out.
Fiddling around with Lego. Still do that now.
Still do that now.
Still watching cartoons, sitting on the floor. I'll still do that now as well.
Listen to me, you piece of work. I like what I like, and I married a stuffed bear, an oversized stuffed bear with kind eyes on a toy face.
You don't get to come on here.
Oh, no. I do get to come on here because you make me come on here. So
you don't get to come in the room of doom.
This is my kitchen.
Oh,
the room of spoons.
I'm showing the people behind the curtain.
Well, no, they're behind the curtain now. They live behind the curtain.
It's lovely though. Let's be fair.
What?
Where we live.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's lovely. It's lovely. We live.
Is it lovely?
Oh, it's lovely.
Because
and medieval.
I don't think that you said that was lovely.
No,
enough.
It's medieval. I'll tell you the other thing as well. The other thing that's happening is other people now. I know podcasts have been banging on in America. I know dear old Stevie Knight, if you're listening, my good old friend Stevie Pendle. He was one of the first ones ever to do a UK podcast. He's given it up since. I thought I'd have a go. And
what episode are we on? 12?
Yeah. And now I've said to Tarn, I bet you have a cancer going to. Sure enough, Andy Simmons, podcast, and I'll get a message from...
Andy Simmons reminds me of David Baddiel.
Okay, that's fair. Andy Simmons... Here's another episode of What Does Andy Simmons remind me of? Andy Simmons reminds me of a young Dustin Hoffman in The Graduate.
Yes. Andy Simmons
Mister,
reminds...
you trying to seduce me, Mrs. Robinson? Andy Simmons reminds me of David Mitchell a little bit.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Andy Simmons, and I'm not entirely happy about that.
It's like I'm having a good time, except I'm not. Right. Andy Simmons reminds me... I don't know, that just blew my mind.
This is the most airtime he's ever had anywhere ever.
Andy Simmons reminds me of the guy that used to play Screech in Saved by the Bell.
See, no, you've gone way over my head with that one. Don't understand that.
Nah, I've aged you there, haven't I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you have.
Have I won?
But then, of course, fucking old Peter Nixon and Milky. Oh, we're doing a podcast. Any advice? I said, yes, don't do any... I don't want any more... Can't do any more podcasts.
You could do an episode of...
No one's as funny as me.
You could do a whole episode on like what happens when your face catches a ladder.
Yeah, that's a whole episode by Milky. Yeah. Sort of smashing himself in the face and fucking B&Q, you silly
well,
cunt.
Nixon was smashing himself up as well.
Yeah, they do.
Pair of fucking pillocks.
So there you go, podcast friends.
Oh, podcast friend. The thing is, do you know why ours gets the most listens to? Me.
You really?
Yeah, because I'm brilliant and beautiful.
You're half wit.
Well, so are you.
What else do we know? Not an awful lot.
No, not an awful lot. Nothing's going on.
I need to. That come to an end of that section because I'm quite literally lost for words.
You want the truth? You can't handle the truth, you cock jazz. This is Stiff Right Hand.
Back on Stiff Right Hand. A couple of things I forgot. I wanted to acknowledge. Obviously, we had my good friend Frankie, Francisco Chatto, on here a few weeks ago. I just want to say congratulations to him and Stormy on their wedding. Me and Tom were supposed to be there, but we
weren't.
but we weren't because it's fucking expensive. It was a nice Caribbean cruise they went on their honeymoon, and I hope you guys have a lovely time. Also, congratulations to Frankie, who had a tryout at last Tuesday's SmackDown taping in, I think it was Louisiana. So well done. And also congratulations to our friend of the show as well, Doug Williams, on his 45th year anniversary in the wrestling business.
75th year wrestling.
Yeah, it's good old Doug. Yes, he's... How long was it?
25?
Well done, Douglas. The self-professed clean man of British wrestling.
How many vaginas did he break in celebration?
Well, over the 25 years, fucking loads, I should imagine.
Fuck.
Anyway.
Yeah, I know what I was going to ask you.
Go on.
Well, you brought up the subject of WWE tryouts.
Yeah.
Just then.
Oh, yes.
What do you think about over here when, they release the names of the Brits that go and have a WWE tryout and just sort of like how everyone generally behaves? I know that you'll have something to say about that.
Well, what do you think I'm going to fucking say?
Well, that's why I fucking asked you.
I think everyone behaves like fucking dickheads,
I mean, because obviously there are worthy people amongst the names. Like, I'm not saying it's all just like a bunch of triads and fucking no marks. Like lovely Kemi, she deserved a little shout. She deserved to be shouted at, and that's looked at. But that's not what I'm asking.
Ebony and Ivory.
Anyway. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking what you think about the general reaction.
I think it's ridiculous. I think it's stupid, and I think it's petty. I think the people who, I just think it's cheap. Really, there's a lot of guys out there who fucking do a lot of good in the wrestling job, but never talk about it. It seems to be they're the ones that are really good, and the to the top people. And then you get the other ones that are the shit asses, the ones that are all crowing about it and that, and they'll probably never do shit. And I think tryouts are a fucking joke these days anyway. We've had some of our guys do tryouts, and they've some done well, some not so much. You had your tryout at TNA, which is fucking hilarious.
Oh boy.
You offered dear old Gail Kim out for a fucking...
I did offer her out for a fight.
round.
She was fucking rude and she tried to bully me. Al Snow, Smojo, lovely guys.
And
but yeah, she was fucking rude. told me that I was like too old and too fat when I have a better physique than she does, and she's 8 years fucking older than me.
She didn't quite say it like that.
Yeah, she fucking did.
She said, Scarra.
No, that isn't. No.
No.
She might have tried to be a bully, but let's not be racist because we're better than that.
I'm not better than that. She didn't actually say that, but anyway, the bias is about you anyway.
Yeah, it's not about me. Who the fuck do I think I am?
Yeah, but
you brought it up.
No, you brought it up, and then you fucking hijacked the whole conversation.
I fucking didn't.
But no, it's I think she was a cunt, and also, I can't think of any specific examples really, but I just see the tryouts as a bit of a joke because they're so.
Do you think that they're less valuable as a thing now that there's all the WWE fucking network content and like?
Well, everyone's going to say, well, there's more. Yeah, there's great. So there's a WWE UK tournament, soon there'll be a WWE Japan tournament, and eventually they're going to be the WWE universe quite literally because they will own every fucking corner of the globe. And yes, it's great. Some people will argue that. Therefore, we've got much more opportunities. I mean, like I've said time and time again, I'm beating an old fucking tambourine here, but it's like I say, all the people I reckon should have been at WWE back in the day. Yes, they're all my buddies, but I don't give a fuck.
Jody.
Jody, Johnny, Doug, the Pitbulls, all the guys that were in, all the FWA crew, all of us, in fact.
If you'd have gone to WWE...
Darren Walsh is another one, my old tag partner.
Listen, I've got something to say.
Hold on, but I'm just answering the question, and I think it meant something back in the day, and tryouts did mean something. They don't anymore because they're so mass-produced and often, I just think they're cobblers. Well, it's dead air now.
It is dead air. Well, no, I was just going to say that if you guys had gone off to WWE anyway, we wouldn't have such a rich and varied fucking thriving scene that we do now over here. So I'm glad that you guys fucking didn't, because who would have taught my generation?
Well, I'd never have been interested in WWE at all. I did the tough enough thing, but I actually would. I fucking can't stand travelling. It would have been hateful for me. I hate travelling and I hate fucking flying about all the time, and it would have been just pointless. It would be like, the most stupid job choice in the world because plus wrestling all the time. I couldn't be around wrestling all the time. I couldn't be around wrestlers all the time, I'm afraid. So no, for me it wasn't there. But for people like Johnny, Jody, Doug, it would have been and should have been, in my opinion, because those guys, all the guys that lit the scene up and paved the way for all the guys that are doing it today, who aren't as good. Some are great. One thing that is good, so I don't want to come out as I'm just going to sound being fucking negative and that, but one thing that is really good, which I never thought I'd see, is the resurgence of the old world of sports style. And Zack Sabre Jr. brought it back and does it very, very well. And then you've got people like Marty Scurll and that, and a lot of these lads now, and then the WWE, it was lovely to sit on the WWE UK tournament.
Nobody told them to not all wear the same fucking trunks though, did they? No,
it's tiresome when everyone's got the fucking job lot haircut and the quiff and the fucking the handlebar moustache. Not everyone. Everyone in America must think that everyone in the UK is a fucking Circus Strongman or Family Guy. You know what I mean? Steak and eggs and steak. That's what you have for breakfast.
Delicious.
Yeah, and that's
steak and eggs and steak. I'm just making sure you heard.
I got it. And that's what they must think it's all about over in England. And everyone riding around on unicycles and handlebar moustaches, putting the fucking
offering each other out Oxford style.
And then if someone doesn't agree, doing a Russ Abbott segment with them. It's all bollocks.
You there, Squire? Are you attending the fisticuffs?
No, I'm going to leapfrog you and duck underneath the back and do a reversal. So yeah, it's all a bit silly and a bit contrived. And I think, but if that was me doing that, I wouldn't be popping my cork and putting it all over Facebook. Wait, because you're gonna either get your job and it's all going to be great, or you're going to look fucking silly and look like a bit of a punter. There you go, that's my opinion on it all.
Oh, I like that.
Back to the shooting in America. I just wanted to read you this because I thought this was quite interesting. It's because I put on Facebook, didn't I, about I wasn't going to mention names, I've just said Facebook already. I put on there about the governor of Texas, I think it was, who said about more guns should be in churches. So a friend of mine, I'm not going to drop his name in, he says, I have to have my 2 cents here, but in my line of work I've seen it. A good guy with a gun can quickly stop an attack by some armed nut job. I run into people on a daily basis with concealed weapons permits. They show me them to me with their driver's licences when I stop them. It's good to know they are amongst us to protect themselves and others from these idiots. I said, but this guy was background checked, 36 mass shootings, and that, but if I have a gun, I could be the good guy mentality. When has that ever happened? 160 jihad killings compared to over 1,000 in a year by your own people. If you have more than one firearm and aren't a museum owner, you should be monitored 24/7. His reply was, I fall under that classification. What's his job?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, what's his job? Judging by his fucking response.
Well, he needs to be...
He's a traffic cop.
Oh my God.
So he's okay.
You can't shoot a car to stop it from going fast.
Yeah, but he's a no, but that's not my point. He's agreeing that people should be armed, and he's a traffic cop. So if a traffic cop who's driving around all the time is cool with it, wow, isn't it?
Oh, damn America! You need to go the fuck.
And this guy is the geezer I lived with when I was in the States. And he's a very sound.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. But boy, we don't agree on that. I've got an interview coming up next weekend with Logan Price.
Not that guy.
Yeah.
Not American you.
And he's American me, but he's typical headstrong fucking Trump supporting, gun toting, gum chewing.
Let me get in on this interview.
Nah, honestly. So we're going to have some interesting discussion about that. The other thing I want to talk about, and I wanted to hear what you think about this. This is quite interesting to me. Kim Jong-un's half-brother. He died at an airport in Malaysia, and his name's Kim Jong-nam. So he died, right? He was assassinated by 2 Japanese girls, and I've seen the CCTV footage. And they walk up behind him in this busy airport and just put a little cloth over his face for literally 2 seconds and wave it around his face and run off giggling. And he looks confused and turns around. Next minute he's on the floor. Next minute he's had to be wheeled off. Next minute he's dead. He died within 20 minutes. And it turned out there was, I think, plutonium. A tiny grain of plutonium on that little bit of material, and he was assassinated. And these girls come up for trial next week, and they're being tried in North Korea, so I don't fancy their chances of...
they did.
Even though Kim Jong-un apparently he sanctioned the killing himself. But the way they got the girls to do it was they got these 2 random Japanese girls and told them they were filming a comedy game show.
Oh, fuck.
And said, you've got to go to that guy there, that fat guy who looks like Kim Jong-un, and put this fucking material bag over his head, take it off and run away, and you'll be huge stars in Japan.
Fuck.
And they did that.
Oh, come on, but then it's not their fucking fault.
No, so they're innocent. So they did it, these poor 2 Japanese girls, and they're being tried. They're going to be tried for murder.
Fucking outrageous.
It's like horrible, isn't it? But they thought they were going to be part of a TV game show in Japan. It's horrid, isn't it?
Oh my fucking god.
What a nation. It's unreal, isn't it?
There's a bit of a commentary on the world that the lengths and shortcuts people will take to be famous.
So America and Korea, start your wars now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? What a mad old fucking...
Well, Japan isn't going to like that. That's going to make Japan very angry.
Oh, I was going to do some impressions there.
No, don't do that.
Why does no one ever care for my impressions?
Well, I'm the only one here and I don't, so...
Well, I don't know. And that's it. Everyone's banging on about the Survivor Series this weekend. I don't even know what the fuck...
I can't even tell you one fucking match. I can't even... So luckily we got that little one for that.
There's a point really where we should start doing our homework.
I mean, just like I would, but there's only so many fucking Divas matches I'm prepared to sit through.
Yeah, I don't...
and the total is none.
Yeah, it's not good. I think I was talking to Big Jim Hustle, who produces our show. By the way, guys, listen to The Rock Show live every Monday. They're the guys who produce this show, The Rock Show live on Facebook. Add them and listen to them every Monday, 8 till 10. Jim is awesome, isn't he, Tom?
Yeah, I am a big fan of the erection section.
What?
Yeah.
And he does an awesome mixture of new and old school metal, and it's really cool.
It's right ripping good fun for the whole family.
It is really good, yes. And for those watching in black and white, Arsenal are the ones in the red shorts. So
that was nice.
Yeah.
Do you have pleurisy? Is that what that was? Do you have the black lung?
Yes, I've got consumption.
Oh, is it gout?
I've come down with the lung gout.
Oh God.
I've got them chest weasels.
Get the leeches.
Oh Christ, he's come down.
You like, mister? Tuppence a night.
I'm a water boatman and I don't care about nout. What were we talking about?
Some shit, I don't know.
This show's gone to shit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's gone to hell.
Well, no, Big Jim said, what do you think about the WWE pay-per-view product now? As in its relevance. I think it's fucking hugely, massively watered down.
Is there anything you like?
Oh, don't you, Stu? You sound like everyone who isn't me.
There's got to be one thing you like, one person.
The thing I really like NXT.
You like it, you really, really like it.
Oh, that was cheap. That was so cheap. Just such a bell end. You like it.
Really like it.
Yeah, I do. I really, really like it.
Why don't you marry it if you like it so much?
You're a fucking titmus. No, I do like NXT. I think NXT's the bollocks. However,
you like it.
I think the WWE pay-per-views, in my day it was the Rumble, it was Survivor Series, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, and none of the thing I miss, and people are probably going to say again it's all load of bullshit, was squash matches.
Yeah, but they were proper.
Yeah, but you didn't see the top stars actually fucking even cross swords until the pay-per-view itself. You'd see them, you wouldn't even see them go nose to nose. At the very least, you wouldn't,
Yeah, now you've seen him wrestle about 8 fucking times before SummerSlam.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous. You have it like every week on Raw. Do you know what I mean? So what I do not understand. Everyone says, the old superstars of wrestling, whatever they were, wrestling challenge, etc. They were all dull. They weren't. They built up huge. The build up to those matches was awesome. I think obviously it's a different fucking game, a different business, but if I was putting on a TV show, that's the fucking way I'd go. And I don't understand there was almost like a pay-per-view a month, isn't there? Mm-hmm. And I don't know.
It's all just to make content for the network, isn't it?
I don't know what they're all fucking called.
WWE.
I don't know what they're called. I don't know what they're called. Let's talk about our Academy show, because we're going to wrap up and we're going to get the fuck out of this soon. We've got our
I want some dinner, so I don't know about
we've got to talk about our Academy show,
right.
December the 2nd, Battle Memorial Hall, and it's going to be our first ever one. I'm not on it.
No, you are going to be there, though.
No, I'm not.
You're on the poster.
No, I know I am, but I'm not going to be. I'm going to sit here and...
You're going to be really lonely if you sit here.
I'll just open the window. It's only a few doors down. I'll be out there what's going on. I'll probably be able to see it. If you'd have bought me that telescope like I asked for last Christmas...
let me tell you a list of people that are never going to have a telescope. One, you.
Now listen, let's tell the viewers about that.
Viewers?
Yeah, alright, readers.
Yeah.
We've got these neighbours our neighbours live miles away. There's a field behind us, and we've got a goat that lives in a van. And she's lovely, but I digress.
You did.
Beyond that field, there's a fucking... Have I told this story before?
No.
Probably.
No.
There's a big, huge building in the distance, and I get up at night to have my old man piss about 1 or 2 in the morning, and there's lights on and there's cars going in from there. And I said to Tarn, "What do you want for Christmas?" I said, I was standing by the window at this point. I said, telescope. She said, "Is it to look at our neighbours?" No. But it is, isn't it? No, you're not everyone.
Sometimes I stand and look at that house and I make up a story of what's going on there. And my favourite story of what's going on there is there's a man called Victor and he's having a dinner party and accidentally kills the guests. And then it turns into this whole great big palaver where everybody ends up killing each other.
What probably is happening now is there's a fucking huge drugs den going on, and I want to know about it.
No.
And there's cars going in and out of there all times of night, and it might be a whorehouse.
Might be.
Again, want to know about it.
The list of people that are never going to know about it. One, you.
I want, if it's in my fucking backyard, I need to know.
No.
So,
and anyway, what's this got to do with our show?
Perhaps, dear listeners, we could all set up a GoFundMe. So we'll just have a bit of crowdfunding to get me a really good telescope.
No.
So I can report back to you all on what's happening at that house.
Don't you fucking dare.
I think it would be good.
Anyway.
I wish people would buy me more presents.
What's this got to do with the show?
I've forgotten. I
Nothing.
can't remember what we were talking about.
Like, the show.
Oh, the show. Back to that. Battle Memorial Hall.
Stop. Are you okay?
Is it? Yeah, I'm fine.
Are you broken?
I'm a bit delirious.
Alright.
December the 2nd.
December
is our show.
December the 25th.
And Jeepus' birthday. Hello, Jeepus. So it's going to be.
Do you need some ointment? Is that going to make you feel better? Ointment.
And that's going to be our show. Have you got anything to say? We haven't announced all the matches yet.
No, we haven't. We'll probably announce one this weekend. That'll be alright. Be a nice match, whatever we announce. It'll be good.
And we've
got a nice mixture of the academy talent and then some pros just to sort of like help them out.
Yeah, it's going to be good. We've got some of our pros. We've got Dean, we've got B-Ray back. We've got a young Hakan.
Yeah, Hakan's back. That's good.
We've got a really great team down at the academy now, and they're helping out teaching, obviously, along with Johnny Moores. We've got a cracking team of people.
Who's our head trainer at Maidstone and Kent academies?
Yeah, and over our 3 academies, we've got a huge amount of kids coming through now, and so yeah, we needed some help with that. We've got a fucking awesome team there, so I'm really proud of that. So please look at getting your tickets online
from eww-wrestling.com, or you can come and get them from my calf, Scarlett's Calf, 10 Old Ladies Court in Battle, because we're the box office, aren't we?
It doesn't deserve to be called a calf.
It's a cakery.
Anyone says, "Oh, what business, Joe?" and say, "Oh, calf." Sounds
it's not a milkshake shop either. It's like
no. So I like your shake and cakery thing that you.
Yeah, it's a cakery.
Because you see, come up with a calf, I end up thinking of that fucking old calf they have when the losers.
Oh, and the Apprentice.
The losers go, the Apprentice Bridge Cafe, and they're all sitting there and just.
So I got a question for our listeners.
The
Apprentice thing. I want to know why they always wear fucking scarves.
I've told you about that because it's the they'll have a.
But I want to know for sure. I want Alan Sugar on the fucking line. That's what I want.
We're not going to have him on the line, but I'll tell you who I'm going to have on the line next week. Gary Vanderhorn.
Well,
it's going to be right here.
Okay.
Not right here.
Well,
but I
don't much care for his t-shirts, as we can evidence.
What are you on about?
I cover up his logos willy nilly.
Oh, you do, yes. From he's the mastermind, but along with Darren Burridge behind the world of Lucha. It's not Lucha. Fuck, what's it called?
What's it called?
Lucha something. Lucha Rasmen doing leaping.
Britannia. Lucha Britannia.
Lucha Britannia, that's the fellow.
Based in Bethnal Green.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, good, with the Shoreditch Vampire.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's Shoreditch.
That would be
well, I wrestled for him once in Shoreditch. He used to run a company.
You like my cockney urine in your face, boy.
Like a long yellow cable.
Did you dance with Elsie, boy? We all did.
So that's Gary. Well, no, it's all Gary Vanderhorn.
That wasn't Gary Vanderhorn. That was my.
We're going to have him on next week, and we're going to have straight from the heart of Texas, my dear old friend Logan Price. He's going to be on next week, talking all things old school.
He's a real life American youth,
and he's a real life American pain in the ass and upsetting everyone left, right, and centre.
Let's find out who he's upset this week.
The whole list of my mates. So we're going to have Logan on as well. So thank you Tanya, for your time.
Oh well, you are very welcome. My invoice will be in the post.
Yeah, great. Thank you guys for listening, and God bless us all.
Love you, bye.
Stay up it.
If you have been affected by another subject matter or topics covered on this week's Stiff Right Hand podcast, please call 0800 Go Fuck Yourself.